Hello. Oh wait. Oh shit. Are we like? Is that like? We scroll down. Okay. No, we're on the right screen. Okay. Okay. Hello. Hi everybody. Hope y'all can hear me just fine. Um. Hang on a second. I am looking for something. Did I not have? I don't think I have VLC as a sound source anymore. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try very, very, very faintly. To capture uh to have music playing in the background. I don't want to go through like any sort of issues with like copyright stuff because again, like that's the whole point of me having YouTube streams, is so I have a VOD saved, and that's where I deal with like the most like copyright stuff, like muting parts of my fucking stream whenever I have music playing. So I'm gonna very very faintly have music played that I don't think will get copyright struck. Um, but we'll see. Hello everyone. Hi, Silent Snurdle, Toon. We are hold on. What kind of source should I set this as? Just application audio capture? Oh. VLC. Um where is it set at? Okay. Can I that's actually pretty loud. Hold on. Hold on, that's pretty quiet. Okay. I don't know how that sounds compared to me and everything. I don't know like how I don't know. I don't know. We're kind of winging it a little bit here. I've got a big playlist of various songs from various games and stuff. We're gonna see how this goes. Anyways, a happy third affiliate anniversary to me, baby. I hope you don't mind if I snack on some chips while we're hanging out here. Um, this wasn't originally planned as like a celebration stream, but it kind of just ended up being that. So last week, I we had went over and made. I'll even just show it. We had gone over stuff I had drawn in my childhood. I'm gonna flashbang you with some terrible art. Bang, bang. Remember, I made some character select screens. I made a giant roster of like a what if thing for Smash Brothers, kind of. Basically, just drawing a billion Pokemon and some other characters I liked, and some other weird concepts I'd come up with using markers. When I was like 7 or 8, up through being like 10 maybe, I drew those, and we went over it all last week. That's not the thing. We went over it last week. Oh God, zoom in. And wrote down basically we named every single character that was in there. A lot of cartoon characters and TV show characters. A lot of things. There was actually a good number of things I just could not figure out. Um, but I have this list now. I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit here. I hope everyone can read it better. I increased the text font size. I bolded everything. It's nice, big, bombastic. Um, what are we doing today though? Today we're gonna be working on refining this list a lot better. Um, we're gonna be working on remaking this list and starting off with redrawing all the with basically redrawing the roster and making a brand new like pseudo fake roster thing that I would have enjoyed, that I would enjoy nowadays, with a mixture of like the history of things that I liked and like the stuff I like now, sort of like just like a personalized whatever. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think like over time though it'll be more obvious how the vibes will go with this. Um so uh I organize them all by series, and then I just organize the series. I just alphabetize the series, so that's why there's all these question marks at the very top. These are like all the characters I couldn't identify or had like weird like names for. They're just like whatever, like the gardener. um, what was Thugman? Which one was Thugman? He had to be like one of the later sheets, right? Um, Thugman, was he? He's on here after. He's on the last sheet after what I assumed was Wolverine. Wolverine, and then he just was an angry looking guy. I've color coded these. Uh, I've already gone through basically and just kind of made some decisions. I haven't really fully read through everything. Um, but essentially, here, let me add some more to this here. Essentially, everybody that is in red is already completely on the chopping block. They're gone. I'm not gonna redo them. They're taken out of this entirely. I'm sorry to some like series and characters and stuff like that. Like, but I just don't want to. Okay. I'm not going to be completely against the idea of having this pseudo Smash Bros. Roster that's all just about the vibes of, like, recapturing what I did as a kid with drawing this stuff. I'm not against having, like, a ton of characters from different series that don't need more characters. I'm not against having cartoon characters and anime characters and stuff like that that represent my interests. I mostly want to, what I want to do this as a drawing project is I mostly want to draw these things again and kind of give them the vibes of like, ooh, what if this character was in Smash without thinking too much about the mechanics of it or the logistics of like, why would Sakurai put this guy in Smash? Why would anyone play this goddamn game if they put you in charge and you pick these characters? This isn't a real roster making prediction kind of thing. This is just recapturing the goofy, stupid thing I did as a kid and really just like playing into my autistic obsession with character select screens and rosters and such. So this is just sort of us kind of like figuring this out. So we're gonna put a ton of new characters in here, and shave down a lot of the other ones I have in here, until we get a nice juicy roster of characters to put in here. So, anyways, red is characters that I'm not gonna do again. They're on the chopping block. Whether I'm taking out a whole series, like I don't fucking care about Captain Underpants. I liked that as a kid, sure, but I'm not gonna sit here and try and render Captain Underpants in a Smash drawing, Dexter's Laboratory, I just don't feel like getting the vibes of drawing these characters as anything. I still like the series. I think it was a great series. It was a very important part of my childhood. But we're not gonna include that one. I need to add a ton more DBZ characters. Fairly Odd Parents too. Yeah, I just picked random cartoons when I was a kid and started drawing them. Like there's no thought put into it. Anything that's in orange is on the chopping block of like I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to keep it. I'm probably not, but I'm going to think about it. They're not straight up gotten rid of yet. Thugman, I forgot who that was at first, so I'm going to just put him in red. He's gone. It was just a weird angry guy that I drew, and I can't actually remember who it was supposed to be, so yeah. But we joked about talking about like the gardener and gave him like a backstory and everything last time, so that's why I might think of like maybe doing that. And then I guess Bigfoot I don't know why I left that in orange. I'll think about that later. But yeah, so we're gonna kind of go over this list here and go through these. There is tons of characters from certain series, but Pokemon, oh my god, there is so fucking many, and I need to go through this one really badly. There is, I think I counted like 255 Pokemon entries that were in here. And I mean that includes like the human characters, the fucking items, the weird shit that I drew. Like this there's these don't need to all be things here. And then of course there's like every single like evolution line, every single Pokemon in that evolution line. Like they don't need to all be here. They're not no. This needs to be shaved down drastically. I'm willing to add a bunch of niche picks and stuff to here too. We'll go over that, but I don't want to have I don't need fucking Golbat in here and Zubat. I don't need Grimer and Muck. I don't need Goldeen as a fucking fighter. That's not. I'm not gonna draw all this shit. Fuck that. um, but anyways, so aside from all this, so this remember we started looking over all these like sheets that I drew as a kid, um, as a I found these sheets like last week. The other like we were talking. I was talking with my mom and cousin and stuff like that, and they had mentioned all these drawings I had laminated. And I was like, oh yeah, and I realized I still had them, so I found them and we went over them. However, for the last however many months, I've like my whole life I've always come up with like fake Smash rosters. I've always come up with hypothetical things and drawn characters and stuff like that. So I already kind of had like recently a gigantic Smash roster I was thinking of just for shits and giggles of like characters I would draw. I think I named it like Ultra Smash Guys Odyssey as like a meme name. And I was just like writing down like every character I could think of that I would be like, oh yeah, this would be kind of cool. This would be kind of cool, Even digging into characters or series and characters that like I never played. Like I never played Assassin's Creed. I never played Rayman or Astral Chain or Xenosaga. But I heard a lot of things about those series that people would want to play. I mean, you're seeing a lot of like, you're like, what the, I'm pretty sure people are going like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, dude. We've already established I have a fucked up, stupid brain when it comes to like thinking of like fucking rosters. Okay, this shit dates back to my fucking birth. Okay, I shot out the womb, and smacked my head against a concrete slab, and the doctor's like, oops. We don't need to spank him anymore. He's already breathing. He coughed all that crap out there. I think a little bit of brain matter too. So I'm going to use this as like kind of a good point of reference for like a lot of characters that I would add into this, especially with like modern games that I like now and things I've played over the years. So the way that this list was organized when I was making it, which I had been like updating it up until I had found these sheets. Like this was my project that I was like, whittling away at for a while. The way this sheet works though is that like you'd have characters like Mario, Luigi, Peach, whatever. And in this hypothetical Ultra Smash Guys thing, I think I was like thinking of concepts like reworking what an Echo Fighter would be, where an Echo Fighter would be kind of like more like a semi-clone. They'd be like someone built off of somebody else, and they would they wouldn't be like a one-to-one thing. Like it wouldn't be like Peach and Daisy would be like more separate. Like they'd have more things going for them that would change their characters from each other. It was like basically like look at Mario and Dr. Mario. That would be the differences between them with like their stats, how their moves work, and everything like that. That would be about the extent. That would be the extent it would go to for this new version of Echo Fighter. Anything beyond that, like say Fox and Falco, you have or Villager and Isabelle, you'd have a semi-clone which would be a character that is similar to somebody else, but they've branched off enough that they're different. Um, and so I had some ideas in here. I think one of my ideas is like Luigi, like Waluigi would be an Echo Fighter of Luigi who would have like he'd have lankier limbs, he'd have different movements, but his he'd have like the purple missile instead of the green missile. He'd have Luigi's moves, except for I think his up special was Wario's up special, kind of like how Chrom takes a different up special. Um, there's like Koopa Troopa, and then like Dry Bones is like a thing. Like I was, dude, I'm still putting shitty fucking like rosters together to this day of like the most insane, batshit crazy, crackhead picks you could ever think of. So this is all perfect. This is a perfect template to go into this. So we'll go into the crazy characters that I came up with soon. Um, so, anyways, back to the roster we're working on. I think I'm just gonna scrap this guy entirely too. We're already working it down here. We were talking about a character last time that was like a funny concept I came up with as a kid, called the Gardener. This guy in a blue shirt here, where he would like fight with like lawn tools and stuff like that. Um, it was just a guy who like just did like charity work and stuff like that, but like he had like a superhero vibe. Um, I still like that idea. I still think that that would be really fun to have. So he's still orange right now, but all the rest of these like OC characters that I made up when I was 7 are like that don't even have anything going for them. Like they're not even interesting like characters, or whatever. They're just whatever. So they're all the chopping block. I don't even remember who all these question marks are. Fuck them. Um, Before I start adding in new characters, we're gonna go over the ones I put on the chopping block. I don't think I'm gonna put any DBZ characters on the chopping block. Because we're gonna definitely need to fluff out this section here. If we're gonna be adding in like TV show characters. Um, I think honestly we probably need to go delving more into like the characters with like the series with like big rosters and stuff like that. So like, I put in here a bunch of I think I remember what happened with the Final Fantasy thing. The reason that there's all these characters like this in the Final Fantasy sections were that I just had my brother's guidebook to Final Fantasy 8 and just drew a lot of cool characters I see. I still don't know who this Wolverine guy is. I still don't know who this blue guy is. He looks a lot like Carbuncle. I still don't know who he is. I don't know if he's like an enemy. I don't know if he's like. I don't know. I just don't know. We looked it up. We looked up like uh uh Final Fantasy 8 Guardian Forces, and we were trying to see like who's the closest it could have been. Like not the brothers. I just genuinely don't know. Maybe this Eden? Is that could that maybe a bit I mean, well, can I see full size image? Can I are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you. I don't know. Maybe I saw a close up of it or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's either way, the blue guy's probably not going to stay in because because I can't identify that fucking thing. In fact, most of these aren't going to stay in because it's just a bunch of random cool looking characters from Final Fantasy 8. That's all it is. I don't even have fucking Squall in this thing. Cactar and Tomberry staying though. They're fucking iconic. I did realize by the way that the clown thing, well, that was supposed to be Shiva. I think my brother drew that actually, and that's why it just left as white. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I was going through as a kid. I just remember doing this shit and thinking it was a good idea. So I think all these characters are just I'm just gonna straight up send to the red. Um Yeah, and I think I drew these Hulk and Abomination just because we were playing like Hulk whatever game in 2002 or three. And so I was like, oh, that's so cool. I think we saw the movie too that just came out at that point. So that's not really a huge part of my childhood. I just like drew what was neat at the time. Um, Ice climbers, they don't really need much more representatives. So polar bear, I'd probably just straight up get rid of. Topi, however, I want to pitch an idea here. Topi, I thought I had a cool idea here. Even 20, 30 years later, Ultra Smash Guys Odyssey. Um, what if? Okay, hear me out. What if there was like an Echo Fighter for Ice Climbers for Topi, where it's just he's like representing as like he's like an Echo Fighter that plays similar to like being a single Ice Climber, right? His stats are a little bit better. Hey, guess what? What's up? What's up, Dr. Shocky? Don't tell me that my audio has been broken this entire time or something. Lord, holy shit, 35 stream streak. Thank you very much for tuning in. Jesus Christ. I sometimes forget I've streamed a lot since I came back. Anyways. That'd be neat if like Topi was like kind of like representing like as a singular ice climber echo fighter, that kind of thing. You need more expensive stuff. I have 35K to spend. I do need to get around to getting more expensive stuff on here. I used to have like costume switches and everything like that, but because I do a different way of having my PNG on here, so I don't have to have like a green screen thing. Um, it's not really easy to have like costumes I can switch on the fly. But we might look into having some like accessories that can pop up and on and off and everything. Um, better ways to interact with the stream and stuff using frog coins. I mean, hey, save them up for now because eventually there'll be some cool shit to redeem. But that's why I'm leaving Topi as an orange, because it's like we could maybe play around with that idea. I mean, the only reason I know what a fucking Topi is because of Smash Brothers. The original Smash Brothers put these two, or Melee made these two characters seem like they were whatever. Why is Meta Knight like down there? Let's drag him up here. There we go. The Kirby series, already scratching all the like extra Kirby bits. I drew yeah. I just wanted to draw. I think the show had just come out. We were watching a lot of Kirby Right Back at You, so I was drawing a lot of like, oh, Kirby, but with different abilities and stuff like that. Wispy Woods over here. These guys, like a lot of this as a kid was just reflective of like whatever had an impression on me at the time. So all these slots are marked out. And I'm probably just gonna scratch Escargoon. He's a funny character and everything like that, but I'm not gonna draw Smash renders of him. Waddle Dee, however, an ordinary Waddle Dee, I don't think I'm gonna keep. But I will be adding in things like, Bandana Waddle Dee and stuff like that. Again, like I said last time, thanks to Star Allies and Air Riders, we have like tons of neat ideas for other Kirby characters that could be put in. And again, we're not thinking too much about like the mechanics and logistics of like characters themselves. This is mostly just me to draw characters in poses for like a hypothetical roster that's just based around my interests. Okay, now we're on the big one, Mario. I didn't put anyone in orange on Mario because I just eliminated the most immediate, like, offenders. Wait, hold on. So I didn't put anyone in orange yet to put them on the chopping block. Because I just didn't take the time to really read through this. I did alphabetize it. So, we already so any characters that are like variants of other characters in such a way, like, you know, oh, Mario and Luigi, but they're riding go-karts. Mario on Yoshi, Luigi with a vacuum. Like it's like that's just me being stupid as a kid. We're scratching that off. I started that shit as early as fucking page 1. I was already drawing fucking variant characters like that back then. That was already stupid then. It's stupid now. So those characters are all scrapped immediately. What's probably gonna be scrapped also is a lot of like the characters that just would be weird to move around and wouldn't really be like, I don't know, like Bullet Bill. Sorry, Mr. William, you're gone. Oh, you know what? I just realized something too. Hold on. Speaking of that 35 streak loyalty, you're probably gonna hear my streaming echo here in a second. Okay. I muted it in time. I can knock and collab with myself. Okay. Sorry, I wanted to pull something up real quick. Okay. Anyways, Baby Mario, Baby Orange, Baby Yoshi. This is from, I think this is like just, it's the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door version. We'll scrap him. Birdo, I think I'll keep Birdo around. You know, we'll have a big roster of characters still. Blue Cataquack and Babam. That's funny. Bye. Boo-Lossus. Bye. Having an ordinary Boo, I'm not too opposed to. In fact, I'll even put that in orange as like a maybe. Bowser Jr. Chain Chomp. Bye. Daisy, Dr. Mario. Goomba, I'm keeping Goomba. That's even in my Ultra Smash Guys roster. That's even like over here. Alright, Goomba. In fact, he even got an Echo Fighter Tanumba. Cheesy's got me obsessed with that shit. Oh, wait, hold on. Someone went live, and I had it in the background. Oops. Gooper Blooper. That's the gigantic-ass blooper you fight in Mario Sunshine. Poyo, thank you. Gone. Green Wiggler. That's just, I forgot what a regular Wiggler was, and I drew that as a kid. Where is it? It's not here. There it is. I just thought, obviously, you can tell when I got to the beach level in Mario Sunshine. Because I drew all the Cataquacks and the fucking Wiggler. That's funny. That's funny. King Boo, Koopa Troopa, yep. Lakitu, goodbye. That's not the color I want to choose. That's the color I want to choose. Crump, goodbye. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is one of my favorite games of all time. Luigi, maybe. Mr. Eye, that's just the giant eyeball from Super Mario 64. Fuck that. Paper Luigi, that is a goodbye. Paper Peach, that is also a goodbye. And Paratroopa, I like Paratroopa, but I think that I think if there's any Paratroopa representation, it might just be like a Koopa up special or something like that. I'll put him on an orange. An orange for a maybe. PD Piranha, we're keeping Pianta and the Pianta fucking police. Good lord, I've put everybody here. Pink Bomb, gone. Piranha Plant, he's in Smash, of course. Power Star, that's a... Okay. Rock Hawk. I'm gonna put him as an orange, maybe. He's actually an iconic boss and everything like that. I think that'd be a funny, like, niche pick. Red Cataquack. Remember, we categorized the fucking Cataquack. Cataquack our eyes. Shadow Mario. Maybe. Shy Guy. We might keep that, actually. And then the Sludge Piranha Plant. So I forgot to take off Sunshine Mario, too. These guys are all red. Red, red, red. Now they're dead. Thwomp. Gone. Toadette is gone because she'd probably just be a swap of Toad. Like, they'd probably just take the same character slot. Toadsworth, sorry. I want you back in Mario again, but you're not going to be in this thing. Vivian, I might actually keep. She's my favorite partner. Waluigi, Wario, Whomp, Zesty, gone. And of course, the original character of the made-up husband character I drew for fucking Zesty as a kid. He's not coming back either. Sorry. Editor, play him dying. Put him dying in the corner. Samus, we already got that. Paperboy, sorry. You didn't deserve it. I never played any of your games, so fuck you. Pikmin, Pikmin themselves might be scrapped. That's it. That's the sound of the old man as he's dying. He goes, and it just passes away. Okay. Pokemon. We have 255 things here. And I've already taken out all the humans, as well as any of the items. The fucking items. The goddamn... I still can't believe I fucking did that. Where did I draw that? Where is he? Where's that son of a bitch? Where did I draw it? What page was it on? Where the fuck is it? A Pokeball and a fucking Giss ball? Fuck you. We have a lot to go through here. So we're probably gonna do a couple passes at it. First of all, Apom. I love that fucker. He's definitely staying in. Arbok. I'm not gonna do that in Smash. Articuno, probably gonna do most legendary Pokemon are getting cut too. Azumarill, we're gonna put that on the maybe. Azurill, Bayleaf, Beedrill. I know Sounding Rod, but I'm sorry. Bellossom. The thing is, I do want to still keep in the idea of having a ton of Pokemon here, just to sort of be like a callback to me doing this as a kid. This is what I did as a kid. So I might have a lot of like weird niche like Pokemon picks like that. Bellsprite, that's the very first thing I drew. Bye. Sayonara, fucker. Blastoise, Blaziken, Blissey. That's definitely getting scrapped. Bellossom, I meant to put in orange, sorry. And then these two also in orange. I mean, we are going to have every character that's in Smash Brothers already. So like Pokemon Trainer, like that is going to be in here as well. So we will have, at the very least, Squirtle. They didn't take Brock out? I took all the human characters out. Okay. Bulbasaur, again, we're going to have Pokemon Trainer, so we don't need that. Butterfree. You probably saw I took out Pink Butterfree already down here. It's from the anime. This, if I had kept Butterfree as a character, this would have been like an alt color. But I ain't, and I won't, so I don't. And Caterpie. Those are getting eliminated. Celebi, that's maybe. I could draw some fun pose with that. Chansey, that's also eliminated. Charizard, I'm gonna do a yellow on that just because like, oh, he's part of Pokemon Trainers, so that technically, whatever. All these guys eliminated. Now Clefairy, I got some ideas for. Maybe an Echo Fighter to Jigglypuff. Like Echo Fighter, remember in this new sense of it where they're basically semi-clones instead of like full-on clones. Um, because remember, Clefairy was actually supposed to be the mascot of Pokemon before Pikachu was decided upon, and it also was originally going to be put in Smash 64. Um, so that's a little fun fact for you. Cloyster, I want to put him on a maybe just because I kind of want to take another shot at drawing it because I don't know if you remember when we found Cloyster in I think it was it page 2? Where was Cloyster at? Where was he at? Because I don't know if you remember when I first drew Cloyster, I didn't really give him much of a shot to exist. And so I think just as a fun like nod of like we'll do this the right way. Um, there's that. Muskin Corsola, sorry. Nope. Crobat, you're a maybe. Crocodile, that's a nope. Crystal Onyx. Oh my god. If I somehow have like any representation for like Onyx as a character, whether it's like, oh, we'll use Brock from the games as a gym leader, like a Pokemon trainer thing, where he's like Onyx, Graveler, and I don't know, fucking Kabutops or something. Aerodactyl. I don't know. If I somehow do something like that, then I will definitely have Crystal Onyx as like a cool like nod like alt color. I don't know if I'll draw alt colors for all these characters. There's like 500 characters on this thing alone, and I'm gonna be taking away like half of them, and then replacing them with a bunch of others. So like I don't know if I'm gonna be doing alt colors, but um let's see here. So that's gonna be taken out. Cubone, Cyndaquil, Diglett, gone. Ditto. That's a huge. I don't know. Dodrio, another like maybe. Another fantastic Gen 1 Pokemon. Donphan. Donphan I might just straight up keep. There's actually Ultra Smash because honestly, one of my favorite Pokemon is Great Tusk. And so, as you can see here, I have Great Tusk, Iron Treads, Donphan. Actually, I'm just going to do that. And then we can stretch these a little bit more so people can see better. But, so Donphan's a really cool Pokemon to have. Dragonair, nope. We'll have Dragonite. I like Dragonite. It's like a crazy pick for Pokemon. Drowsy, nope. Doug Trio. We'll actually get back to this one. There is something kind of cool I want to go over with this one. So we're gonna put that in yellow. Eevee, we'll keep. Ekans, Electabuzz, Electrode. Gonna scrap those guys. Elekid we'll have as a maybe. Entei. Now, I always say most legendary Pokemon, whatever, but Entei I'm going to keep as a maybe as well. Execute. No. Executor could be a maybe. Maybe we can have like an Alolan Executor as like another thing. Fearow. Gone. Ralligator. Maybe. Flareon, Fortress, Ghastly. Whereas Gengar. Yeah, Gengar I'll just straight up keep. Gengar's I'm gonna put on the roster again. Geodude, it's gone. Gloom and Golbat, gone. Goldeen and Golduck, gone. Golem, maybe. Or this is like only covering the first 2 generations with a very slight dip into 3, and so like we're gonna have to add in a lot more from like newer generations and stuff too. Graveler can also be maybe. Maybe I'll decide between the two of them. Gramble. Nah. Grimer and Groudon as characters? Nah. Grovyle. Grovile's got that aura, baby. Gyarados? You know, I'm not too opposed to him as well being in here. Haunter. No. Heracross. I want to keep Heracross in the Hitmons. Ho-Oh, Horsey, Hypno, Iggly, all these can just go bye-bye. Ivysaur, obviously, with Pokemon Trainer. Jigglypuff, duh. Jolteon, nope. Jumpluff, maybe. I like its shape, I like drawing it. Kabuto, nope. Kabutops, maybe. Kakuna, nope. Kecleon, I'm gonna keep in so I can give it a better pass. Okay. Lest I remind you of the sins I've committed. He sniffs. He snuffs. He snorfs. He looks like that. Kingdra, honestly, I'm not too crazy opposed to that either. Which one was that on? That was on the one with Cloyster. Yeah. Next to Pink Butterfree. Kingdra. I drew him as a giant key, and then I was like, oh, I need his body. Whoop! All these other characters I cut off or only draw their head, but him, I need the full thing. That looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Which one? Which one looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card? Kecleon. There's a couple Yu-Gi-Oh cards in here. There's like, there's Time Wizard. That's supposed to be Time Wizard right there. That was supposed to be Time Wizard. This is I was just starting to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And then Baby Dragon is right there. You know, next to Chucky Chan. Fucking the GOAT, Chucky Chan. Kingler, I'm on maybe. Coughing, Krabby, Kyogre, Lantern. All no. Ladian, I'm not. I don't care about too much, but like, you know, we'll put maybe Ladybug, Lickitung, nah. Lugia, honestly, maybe I should put Ho-Oh on the maybe too, just if Lugia's gonna be there, you know. Again, we can have a ton of Pokemon on this still. Machamp, that is a maybe. Machoke, Machop, Magby, all nope. Macargo. I am look at Discord, Ojama. Oh. I'm gonna open in browser. You know, especially, I remember these guys. I remember vaguely seeing at least, maybe it was just the yellow one I remember seeing in the anime. Also, this yellow one is like in every like anime and manga ever. Like this character design is used in so many things. It's really funny for weird stuff. I also like I always love like the Japanese trope of or the anime trope of weird characters that are like muscular and fat, but they're also in speedos, and that's supposed to be like, we're super weird. We have big mouths and lips and teeth. And that's like the signs of a really weird, freaky character. I love that stuff. These are neat. Um, Macargo, that's probably gonna be on a maybe. Um, I'm not too opposed to that. Magikarp, Magnemite, nope. Magneton. I would, if I were to do that. It's the Speedo, not exactly. If I were to do the Magnemite family, I'd probably do Magneton over Magnezone. I like Magnezone a ton. But Magneton, just the way it's shaped, because I mean it's just three Magnemites together, but the way that like the cluster forms, the way that their silhouette is, looks really cool compared to Magnezones. In my opinion, this is just purely just my opinion. Mankey, no. Meryl, I will put on the maybe, and no, it will compete with Azumarill, just because Meryl's a little bit more iconic, but Azumarill's still a good contender up there. Marowak, also on the maybe, and you know what? Marshtomp is a no. If anything, I put either Mudkip or Swampert. Marshtomp is still a good middle evolution. It's just, whatever. Meganium, maybe. Meowth, definitely. Metagross, maybe. Metapod, nope. Mew, yeah, we'll keep. Mewtwo. I had to Mew 3. There's no Mew 3. Mischievous, I mean, maybe, but not really. Moltres, unfortunately, no. Mr. Mime, I'll put as a maybe for now. Mudkip, again, maybe. It'll compete with Swampert. Muck, and Murkrow. I kind of like its shape and silhouette. Noctu and Noctowl, probably not. Octillery, that's another tough, maybe. Oddish, no. Now Onyx, again, like I said earlier, because I like the idea of having an alternate color with its crystal Onyx, we'll put that as a maybe. Parasect, nope. Persian, that's another one that's going to be yellow for a specific reason later on. Phanpy, no. Pichu, of course. Pidgeot, Pidgeotto, Pidgey. I'll put Pidgeot as a maybe, and then we'll put Pidgeotto and Pidgey as no. Pikachu, oh, well, we'll go ahead and just scrap this fucker. Piloswine and Pineco, nope. Pinsir, another maybe, Final Smash being his mega form. Politoed, yes, 100% Politoed. He's my goat. Poliwag and Poliwhirl, no, but Poliwrath, gonna keep that as well. Porygon 1 and 2, nope. Primeape on the maybe list. Psyduck is pretty iconic, but I did scrap Golduck, so we'll see. Pupitar, Quagsire, Quilava, Quillfish. Nope. Raichu, I'm willing to keep that. Raikou. I put Entei as like a maybe, so we'll put Raikou as a maybe as well. I think the 3 dogs will do, or the 3 beasts or whatever. These fuckers. Routes, Raticate, Rattata, nope. Rayquaza, Rayquaque, no thanks. Remoraid, nope. Rhydon, maybe. Rhyhorn, maybe not. Roselia, Sandshrew, Sandslash. Nope. Sceptile, I think I'm just gonna say no, because I think Grovyle, if I pick the Trico line, Grovyle will be a much better pick overall. Scizor, that's on the maybe. Scizor and Scyther are both gonna be on the maybe. There is some ideas I had in Ultra Smash Odyssey where like Cleavor was a character, then Scizor was like technically a Echo that they have their own things, so I don't know. Maybe Scyther could be like the main thing, and then Cleavor and Scizor will be like the whatever. Seadra, Seeking, Seal, Sentret, Shelter, Skiploom. Those will be no's. Slowbro and Slowking. I don't think so. Those are gonna be hard maybes, as in like they're probably not gonna make it. No. Snorlax, that's a maybe. He is pretty iconic. I like him a lot. Snubble, no. Squirtle, that's obviously part of Pokemon Trainer, so we'll mark it as yellow. It's like, okay. Starmie, that's a good strong maybe, actually. Staryu and Steelix, no. Sudowoodo, and Suicune, both good maybes. These two, no. Swampert. Again, he'll compete with Mudkip to see who takes the spot if either of them are. Swinub, Tangela, Teddiursa, Tentacruel, all the way through Togepi. I'd say no. But Togetic. Again, the silhouette, I like more of Togetic than Togekiss, so that's why I would probably put Togetic over that. Torchic and Totodile. I'd say Torchic is going to be hard to know. Totodile would compete with Feraligatr over his placement if he's in there. Trico, no. And Typhlosion, probably not either. Well, maybe Typhlosion. You can have an alt being like his... Or not an alt, but maybe like a different thing being his... Sorry, I was a little distracted here. Oh, yeah, well, that's a good pick. I'll keep that. Tyrogue, Unknown, Ursaring, all these guys. Down through Venusaur, no. I'm considering putting Ursaluna in, so Ursaring's not gonna. Yeah. Victory Bell, that's a maybe. Vileplume, I did say Bellossum's a maybe, so who knows? Nope. Weezing, a Joshua Tumar. Unfortunately, did not get the cut. Whooper, why not? You know, I can see myself drawing Whooper in a character slot, so we'll put that as a maybe. We're almost at the end, guys. Oh my god, we really just tore through that. Why not Xatu, Yanma, Zapdos, Zigzagoon, and Zubat? Okay, yeah, the rest of these are all no's. So we're left with a good amount left. We'll count these up here soon. But okay. So now we're gonna go to another. So I already crossed off earlier some cartoons. Forgive me for enjoying this potato chip. We already crossed off some cartoons earlier. Because there's 20 fucking Powerpuff Girls. 20 characters, by the way. I thought, well, you know, they're on the front page and everything. They had such a strong presence throughout this entire character select screen. Like, all these pages. There's a bunch of their Powerpuff Girl characters in here. I was like, I can't just completely scrap that entirely. So maybe we can have some like representation of them of that series through yeah, let me move this up here real quick. We have some representation of the series through like some of the characters in here, right? So I chopped down all the crap and garbage and everything, and we're left with just, you know, the main three: Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup, and then of course the main three villains: Mojo, him, and Fuzzy Lumpkins. You know, good old. Hey, it's me. I'm a little monkey man. Hey, I got lobster claws. Whoa, watch out! Look at me. I got little antennas. So I really those in, and then Ace. I mean, Ace has got aura. I mean, he's the fucking he was part of the Gorillas. Okay, like lighten up on him. Okay, he's cool. And I figured he could do that thing like some characters have. Like I think Ginyu Force in Fighter Z, where like it's him as the central guy, but his team is with him in his attacks, and they like pop in and out to help him with his attacks, so that we'll still have the whole Green gang and everything. But yeah, I chopped the rest of these, even like Princess, who's like another like who's like supposed to be like the fourth major antagonist. She's like high up there with these guys. Yeah, I still scrapped all these guys because I think that's more than enough representation. We got 7 characters from them. You know, if I'm going to be doing more cartoons and stuff like that, which we will get to, then we will add more cartoon characters, but not from this particular series. They have enough. All the real stuff of me and my brother, it's all scrapped. Sorry, Chucky Chan, you couldn't make the cut. And then in the Smash category, I left Sandbag in. I was gonna put him as a maybe, but I think I'm just gonna leave him in. I think it'd be a fun thing to draw. A Smash render of that. Sonic characters, we're definitely gonna add a lot more to it. I think these 3 are just straight up gonna be no's. I love Sonic Adventure 1. Tuck Hall's a cool character, but I don't think I'm gonna do a Smash thing for. However, Chaos, that's a good pick. Again, we're gonna add way more Sonic characters. Spider-Man, same thing with the other Marvel stuff. I'm not gonna keep him in there. Sorry, I just don't feel like it. SpongeBob, I just don't feel like doing this either. I mean, SpongeBob was a huge part of my childhood. I did watch this. It wasn't apparent because I only drew a couple characters from it at the very end. I drew SpongeBob like way back whenever, and then yeah, way back whenever. I still can't get over Yoshi. Hey, I don't like this. And then suddenly Mario gets flood, and Yoshi's like, hey, I'm very much enjoying this. It's just, I don't know what the fuck I was doing as a kid. But yeah, like, and I just drew a bunch of other, like, it's obvious when I started watching the series and like getting into it and everything, and getting better at drawing this stuff. Like, these are nice compared to my old drawings, But still, we're gonna scrap that whole series. Sorry, they're gone. There's gonna be more Star Fox characters. I just scrapped the versions of them writing their, like, that's whatever. Courage, sorry. Grinch, sorry. Like I talked about before, I think having Bart, maybe Homer, maybe Krusty would be neat, since we're throwing in, cartoon characters. Scrapping these. Wolverine, sorry, you're cool, you're awesome, you're badass, but like the X-Men isn't really a big part of my life in any way, shape, or form. I didn't get too much into them. They're neat, they're cool and everything. I just, I'm jam-packed with a bunch of other stuff, so I never got into it. Yoshi, there are going to be other characters I'm going to attribute to Yoshi, like I talked about before, like Kamek and Shy Guy, and like maybe Boshi. I don't know. Ultra Smash Guys, I had Yoshi as a series. Yoshi, Boshi, Poochie. That's in the character too, yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! I still did like the idea of like Time Wizard and Baby Dragon. I think I'm going to look at a couple other cards, especially like the early game cards or the early series cards, and see what is iconic. Zelda character. These are at the end just because I alphabetized the series. So Sheik and Zelda will have their own character slot. Young Link, Ganondorf. I'm not too opposed to Dark Link having his own character slot. Just for this. Having like an evil aura to it. Toon Link. Makar and Medley. I want to show you guys what I have for Zelda in my Ultra Smash Guys Odyssey. So, my idea was that Link will be back to kind of like his original roots. Green tunic. Represented by either Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess. Or, God forbid, Skyward Sword. Maybe Hyrule Warriors. Maybe with the scarf and everything. I like the Hyrule Warriors designs. I really want to capitalize on that a lot. And then Wild Link would be Link from Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom. He would have probably either his champion's tunic or whatever the outfit was from Tears of the Kingdom. He'd have probably the arm and the Sheikah Slate, and would have abilities like moving stuff around, throwing the blue bombs, um, having a couple different weapons to like swap between. Like he would be more based around those games specifically, and then regular Link would be based more like the Smash version of Link. Zelda Sheik Impa would be based heavily on her uh, Hyrule Warriors version, the original Hyrule Warriors, not the one that's just not the version of her that's just Paya or whatever. But 100 years in the past. This is the one with her with the gigantic sword. Okay, the really cool one. Hold on, Impa Hyrule Warriors. This one. This badass here. Fucking amazing. Love it. Great. She has that in a Naginata, which these are really cool weapons. She's really cool in that game. And I want to see her flipping around doing weird flips and shit while she's like smashing this giant blade on the ground. Young Link, probably based more off Majora's Mask, where he changes between masks. Toon Link, Ganondorf, with Phantom Ganon from Ocarina of Time as an Echo. Like he has like his spear, and he could ride in on a horse as like an entrance, and then like I could see some crazy poses to draw with this. And then I put the four champions: Mipha, Daruk, Revali, and Urbosa. Mipha and Echo be Sidon. It's similar to Warriors. What is it? Age of Calamity, where he'd have like two dual spears and stuff like that. Daruk, Darunia, again similar to Warriors, where you have a giant hammer. Like I really like Warriors, guys. Urbosa, and then the Buru and the Iron Knuckle as like echoes. I'll get more into that later on. Lana and Sia from Warriors. Midna and Twilight Midna, she'd like have like a transformation mechanic, and then Xantus an Echo Fighter, just using Twilight abilities. And then yeah, like you can see here like where ideas are going. So I probably will say what I'm getting at is I probably will say we'll probably scrap Makar and Medley and say farewell to them. So with that being said, let me do something here. So I want to keep this list kind of intact. This is the organized sheet. So we're going to duplicate this, and then we're going to call this sheet refined list. Okay, so refined list. We're going to can I just if I delete cells and shift up, okay, that brings everything back up. Okay, so I can delete cells and shift up. We'll do that. This way we can get a more accurate reading of who is left. And where I can add stuff. I'm doing this because I know if I hit the delete key, it'll just clear the cells and they'll be I'll still have to move everything back up. Polar bear. Okay, I'm not gonna delete any of the orange ones just yet, because again we're gonna go over those and see who I'm gonna still keep and not keep. You know, I should try to do that. Oops. God damn it. Or can I just do this? Nope. What if I just... Yeah, wait, what if I just do this? Delete rows. Can I... Fuck, why does it only highlight? I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get used to Google Sheets. This is gonna take forever. So, while I'm doing this, I guess what's everyone's thoughts on the on the wacky roster I came up with so far? Um, the one I made as a kid, and even some of the keeps we're doing now, the characters that we're not deleting, and that we're still keeping in, or at least considering. Again, this isn't for like any. This isn't like any like, oh, this is what I want Smash Six to be or something. This is just me trying to recreate, like drawing a gigantic roster where I wanted to draw the characters in cool poses and stuff like that. Um, and I just use Smash as like the catch-all term to say like, oh yeah, it's totally for that. They're gonna be like in poses for that kind of game. Um, I'm surprised it's my third year affiliate. I guess I forgot it was 23 that I got my affiliate status, because I guess I assumed it was. You know what? Drowsy, I'm gonna keep just to piss off Cheesy. No, no, but I could draw him in a cool pose. I think I could do something cool with him. He's got an interesting design. I like Drowsy. Um, Speaking of Pokemon, tomorrow we're doing Pokemon Sapphire, so that's gonna be fun. I can't believe I had Gligar Man, but not Gligar in this. What the hell is wrong with me as a kid? What was I saying before? I forgot. Damn it. You know, I do like how Smash does represent Pokemon normally. Like, even though I think that there could be more Pokemon characters you play as, um, they do have a great representation of Pokemon being like there's just a ton of fucking Pokeballs, and like half the stages have like Pokemon appear in the backgrounds that just watch you fight, just to add more to it. Like they just want, it's like there's like 1,000 of them, you know, and they're all unique characters with different designs and powers and shit. Just slap them in the background at this point, you know. We gotta get through them all. Oh, my god, my monster's been sitting here forever. I have not even opened it. Hell yeah. I have Ultra Paradise. It's the green one. Hmm. I just spilled it all over myself. I had Pidgeotto. I thought I turned these guys red. Hmm. Neat. Oh my god. You know what's really funny? I bet there's like some crazy macro someone can like is like, dude, you should have done this, and it's like I can probably just like simply be like, okay, delete all red. um, I'm still learning Google Sheets, so sorry, I'm not. Editor, put in the fucking guide speed running the Microsoft Excel training test thing with his really clacky keyboard that I fucking love. Like as he's like going through like all the options. Thank you. That's exactly what I asked for. Oh, we're getting close to the end. I'm sorry, Chucky Chan. You just Chucky chopped. Oh, that actually works perfect right there. Okay. So now we've shortened the roster from like 500 characters down to 200. We're still going to add a ton more. And and that's just assuming we keep like virtually all these guys that we've orange. Let's see here. 80 to 160. That's 84 characters. We've cut down the Pokemon roster to 84. And that's if we kept every single maybe here. That is insane. I'm proud of myself. All right. I wonder, can you like sort by color or something? Can you sort by color of the cells? I did not mean to click that. Hold on. Hold on. We're looking something up here. Creative. Hold on. Creative filter. Filter icon appears in the header of the column with the colored cells. Where the fuck's the filter icon? Am I stupid? Don't answer that seriously. Am I stupid? Where's the filter icon? What the hell? It's supposed to be like this thing, right? Oh. Sort by filter by color, fill color, white. Oh, that got rid of them. No. Where's my keyboard? Okay, we'll just. It's okay. We don't need to move everyone to the bottom. That's fine. It's whatever. Or I could do this. Ah, okay. You know what? You know what? I'm goofing around too much here. All right. Anyways, so, we're gonna call this series OC, and we're gonna start adding in other characters to this that are So first of all, I think it's perfectly fine that I put myself in here, right? And then I'll have to get back to this part later on, when I kind of figure out more characters that I want to put in like the OC section. But for now, okay, we'll figure out. We'll get some other series worked on first. So let's touch up on Dragon Ball Z a bit. But Goku, Frieza, Majin Buu, Super Buu. So of course we need to put in Vegeta. That's an obvious must. And Piccolo. Just drag those down. But, no. Put Gohan. I guess would it be adult? Oh, here's the question: would we use adult Gohan, or like teen Gohan, or I don't know. I don't know. We'll just put him in there as a what? I hit the wrong one. RB. That one. Jesus Christ, right? I'm hitting the wrong keys here. What other characters can we throw in here? From Dragon Ball Z. Let's see. Cell. What, did it clear formatting off these? Why? Delete that row. Okay, now those have formatting. Okay, that's weird. Early. Who else? I have Majin Buu, Super Buu, I guess King Buu. Have the whole trifecta of them. If I fucking remember seeing those these shorts or reels lately where they are it's like this it's like in Africa, just somewhere in Africa, there's like these three dudes that are hanging out with each other and they keep playing the Majin Buu like fight themes on the videos. And it's like this big fat dude, this big muscular dude, and this bone skinny dude. And it's like, oh, it's Majin Buu, Super Buu, and Evil Buu, and then like I think Aisho's Speed was there, and he's freaking out, and he's Kid Buu. It's fucking amazing. Hold on, I'm not gonna search this on the monitor that or on the I'm not gonna search this on the window that I have streaming just in case it pulls something up untoward, but I'll see if I can find it and then drag it over. Yeah. um can I open an image in a new tab? Is it gonna Oh god, this is crusty as fuck. Okay. Can I open this image in a new tab? It's not crusty as fuck? Okay, well I'm gonna drag this over to here. It's just I think this uh oh wait, hold on. I can't. That would dock some stuff. Oops. I mean not really, but hold on. Hold on. I got this. I got this. I got this. I'm gonna put this in my nothing chat and then there we go. Now we can and it's playing and I just kept seeing reels with these four in it. And it kept playing like the Majin Buu theme. It's like he is fucking ripped though. Like this isn't AI, right? These weren't AI videos, right? I mean, they were actually like I think I Show Speed did like visit these guys. Like it's really funny that these guys found each other and they're like, "Yo, let's hang out." We're literally like, we're like, the Three Stooges or something. I was gonna say hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, and I was gonna make like a joke like eat no evil. You know, fucking I don't know, work out no evil. I don't fucking know something about their habits and abilities and capabilities. But yeah. We're not gonna have Evil Boo as a character though. That's on the list here. Anyways, back to the fucking list at hand. God, who else would I throw in here? I'm just stuck. Oh, Beerus! Duh. The one good thing of Dragon Ball Super. The one single good thing of Dragon Ball Super is Beerus. And of course. I call him Hercule. Everyone else calls him Mr. Satan. It would be either or. People will get mad at me for that. But it's okay. I might add more to this later on. We're not gonna draw the Dragon Ball Z guys today though. Digimon characters, I don't know. I did say I was looking at some really cool stuff last time. I was like, oh my god, where's this been my whole life? I need to get into this shit. So we're leaving these guys here as is, and I will come back to updating this part later on. Donkey Kong, there actually was. I had some. I don't know why it's organized like this. I think it's just because that's. I think. Oh, that's right. Because in the OG list, that was like the order they showed up in. I think, like, yeah, DK Jr. and Diddy were before Donkey Kong. I might still have it like niche characters show up before some other ones. But anyways, Ultra Smash Odyssey. Let's go over here to the Donkey Kong section. Okay. So I have Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, DK Jr. And then of course King K. Rool. Funky Kong and Dixie Kong being like echoes of these two, but I'll just add them into the list here. So we will. Dixie Kong. Funky Kong. King K. Rool. And then I had some other interesting picks I thought of. I thought of using like some Diddy Kong Racing characters specifically. So I have in Crunch, the Kremling, which I think he showed up in. I think he was in Barrel Blast. I think DK Barrel Blast. I think the characters you can play. I think Crunch was one of the Calypso Clump Critter. No, he wasn't. Never mind. Oh well, still. I think Crunch, the would be a neat pick. And then Drumstick, he's like the superstar rooster character that you like have to rescue in Diddy Kong Racing. And he's like the best racer there is in terms of stats, like all around. And then other than that, Lanky Kong. Smash Remix. Let's talk about Smash Remix real quick. Because that also adds in some stuff in here. Smash Remix roster. Well, first of all, let's go look at their. That's not the character select screen. I don't even know what the fuck this is. What is this? Why is Buzz from Toy Story here? What the fuck? Why is there Iron Man and Sans and Mysterio and Doc? Just random Marvel characters. Optimus Prime. What the fuck is this? Dude, Smash fan rosters suck. This whole project sucks. My roster sucks. It sucks. No. Smash Remix. I fucking love. First of all, I fucking love. I love the Smash Remix roster. I love the way it looks. I don't know what this is. I think this is someone. I think this is what. I think someone made like a thing to show the characters here. Ooh, that's actually really cool. Who's that? I can't tell who that is right there above him, right here. I think this is supposed to be like all the new characters, including the ones that are hidden behind a hidden menu. Hold on. Wait. Go to Smash Remix things here. Okay. Anyways, this is the roster I was looking at here. Absolutely love how they recaptured the original Smash 64 renders. Now open image a new window, and we'll zoom in here. Absolutely love it. I love the Smash 64 renders so much. I'm glad they recaptured like the painting style of them and everything for all these characters. Lanky Kong was one of the latest additions to Smash Remix, and he's really fun to play. So I put that in as like a thing with that. Hold on, what? Uh, so then what's... This is from Tier Maker. I'm getting a little distracted here. I'm sorry, but like this is from Tier Maker. Oh, this is someone's actual tier list. Oh, wait, why did the... Variations and mods. Okay, wait, hold on. What I want to know is just where this extra roster came in from. There has new renders of characters like Roy, Dr. Luigi, Lanky. Like they made renders of these characters that are in the hidden menu. And who's that? I can't recognize that. Is that supposed to be Dark Samus or Metal Mario? That's Metal Mario! Oh my god! It's just... I need to save this image on my phone. I have like a whole folder full of character select screens, because again, I'm just obsessed with them. Yeah, like Lucas, Slippy, Peppy. I mean, yeah, like they captured they Super Sonic, like they recaptured the look of the like what I want to see this in the actual game. I want to see this in the actual like roster. Please. Anyways, Smash Remix has some influence on the Ultra Smash Guys thing. I put like this girl in here, I forgot her name. She Mischief Makers, Marina. There you go. I might include her in the new updated thing I'm doing. But yeah, like I get influenced by like fan-made projects and rosters and stuff like that. That's why I put Lanky Kong here, because like, you know, that is actually a good pick. Okay, Nestor Center. Okay, so another thing that influenced me, is that there is a creator I follow on Instagram. I'm gonna try and find him real quick here before I start searching. Okay, I think it's that. Yeah. This is artist I follow. Fucking amazing, talented person, Mushroom Kingdom redesign. His whole shtick is that he's been drawing for a million, billion, trillion years. Basically like redesigning Mario series stuff from like the original Mario Bros, Mario Kart, Yoshi's Island. This is Yoshi's Story. This is Pachyderm. You know, like that kind of stuff. The Yoshis, Wario Land. I think that's Captain Syrup, and all the different forms of Wario and everything. This guy's got crazy, crazy good style. And he did a small series he delved into where he was doing the Smash Bros. Roster. Is there sound? Oh, God, that's loud. Sorry. That's really loud. Anyways, he did this cool thing where he's drawing the characters. This is a style of Mario, but this is like him going into Smash Bros. Usually he has Mario with a sword when he draws them. And then he has like variants and everything like that. Now he did this. He posted this where he was showing like, okay, here's the character select screen, and oh, what's this? There's 6 extra slots down here. Oh, okay. So as he was drawing the characters, there's Donkey Kong, there's Link, there's Samus, there's Kirby, Luigi, Fox, Captain Falcon, Yoshi, Pikachu, then there's Jigglypuff and Ness, and what the fuck is Gooey? Gooey, huh? And sorry, that's really loud. Sorry. Yeah, he was drawn, basically, I think his rules and stipulations were that this only had characters from series already represented in this roster. I have to stay timeline accurate, no character created after 1999. And also, I think he said he will add, I think someone asked specifically, and he said he will not add anyone in this. He's just drawing this just for the love of the game, just for art. Just for art. And he said he wouldn't add anyone that was already added into Smash in the future. So no King DDD or Meta Knight, but Gooey was up on the table, and this was before Bandana Waddle Dee, so you know this was his pick. And he adds some crazy fucking characters too. Andros, writing this thing, being no characters will be added to the future Smash games. Yeah, he reminded everyone of that too. And I was like, oh, and this is me on Instagram. I have Instagram, by the way, guys. Sorry if you can't read the text. I'm reading out to you. I've never seen anyone's list. It'd be super cool to see. So, he says this would be a character based on like his actual spaceship and everything. Like, I'm gonna make sure that the sound is muted for me. Okay, that way it doesn't actually surprise us. Yeah, so he comes up with some crazy picks. Andros, Naburu, who also has the pirate alt and the iron knuckle alt and everything too. And this dude goes crazy because he drew all that shit. A Metroid as a character. Mr. Saturn in the in this is much Mr. Saturn in a time machine. I don't know anything about Earthbound, but this is some crazy crack picks here. Oh my god, and the fucking he goes hard on the Gigas design, you know. So we have these characters here. Who is the final pick going to be? That's crazy. Doug Trio, huh? Well, wait, that's not in the character slot though. What the hell? Persian, huh? What? That's what? That's weird. Why is Persian? It's also not in the character slot, huh? Nido King, what? Peter Griffin. That's not in the character slot either. Like, and then I was like, oh, this is crazy. What's going on here? And then, of course, it's Giovanni, like a Pokemon trainer character, but it's Giovanni, and he uses these three. That is such a batshit crazy concept. I love it. That is insanely good. I love this fan roster here. This is great. So I literally wrote all these characters down. I would love to try and draw that stuff down here, which is why in this thing here I had like Persian. Oh, did I may have accidentally scrapped out Doug Trio. Maybe no, I didn't have Doug Trio in here. I had Dodrio. Okay, well, still. Oh, I do have Doug Trio. It's right there. I'm looking at it. Doug Trio, Persian, and I didn't have Nido King, but Nido King was added in. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do Giovanni with those three in it. I think that's a really crazy, cool fucking pick. Someone called Smash Remix and tell them we got a few more characters to put in their mod. Everyone like that. I love this character select screen so much, and I love these ideas for these characters. That's why I put in like an Ultra Smash guys. Let's see, Pokemon. I put Giovanni right here. Yeah, Giovanni. Zelda. I put in Naburu and Iron Knuckle as like characters. Metroid. I put in a Metroid. I thought that was cool. Other characters like Ravenbeak. I actually beat Metroid Dread, so I can do that. Andros, Gooey, fucking Rick, Mr. Saturn, like, dude, these are insane, and I'm pretty sure if he did like Melee or something like that, maybe Topi would be on the board too. Who knows? The Topi gang represent. All right. Um, I got a lot of crack picks in here. Okay, like we'll go over my rosters later on. Um, so with that being said, that's why I have Mr. Saturn, and that's why I'm keeping Mr. Saturn here. Even though as a kid, I just drew what the fuck ever. Um, where where did I draw Mr. What page is he on? Hold on. Uh, Mr. Saturn. That is page 6. Oh, there he is, down here. Oh, you guys can't even see him. I have it cropped too much. Over here, in the corner, Mr. Frodo, Mr. Saturn, right there. Maybe when I was going over this list originally last week, I didn't have them drawn there. Anyways, so yeah, Mr. Saturn is definitely staying on. And I think I will be adding the other characters I have in Earthbound Mother listed here. Ninten, Lucas, Maskman, Porky. I think there's a lot of potential here. I never played. I played a tiny bit of Earthbound, and that's it. I didn't actually really play that far into it. I didn't play Mother 3, so I barely know anything about the series, so sorry. I know Ninten's from Mother 1, and it was like the precursor to Earthbound, which is Mother 2. Lucas, Mask, Man, Porky. Is that all of them? It was. I put in just enough. Nice. Captain Falcon will put Blood Falcon. We'll get to these later on, to those ones. I haven't. Okay, so we've been going over this list for a while now. I haven't done any art, which I mean, maybe we won't get to today. Honestly, I'm back in an hour. All right, have a good one. We haven't really done any art, so let me go ahead and hide this for a second here. So, like I said before, I've already, like, for a long time, I've been working on, like, coming up with concepts for, Ultra Smash guys and everything, for, like, my own crack pick rosters and everything. So I have, that's just a square I copied over. I like that square. So I've already, like, a long time ago when I first got my drawing tablet, I was like, oh, let me come up with a bunch of characters to draw or whatever, like a Smash style. And I just like trace them. And this is what I came up with. You see, there's a lot of things going on here. Characters from different series and everything like that. You see, this is proof I have autism. I fucking have done this shit my whole fucking life. As a kid, as an adult, I do this shit all the time. But I just traced these, and this is like 3 or 4 years ago. This is old news, right? But we got lots of characters in here. We got a lot of. I think I organized each role. These are like M for mature characters. These are like this row is like meme picks. These are like actual Nintendo and friends. This is Pokemon. This is like these are humanoid Nintendo friends, Pokemon, and then like not like cartoony Nintendo and friends, and then JRPG characters. And I think virtually all these characters are still gonna be in here. I put Creeper in here because originally I drew Garfield as like a joke for a meme character. I was like, well, I want to keep it video game related, so I drew a Creeper, but who knows? We might revisit that. I just drew the Creeper face just to be like whatever, because I was gonna redo this. So we have like a bunch of GTA characters. I think that's Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, Agent 47 from Hitman, Kratos, specifically the Norse god variation, but it would also include the Greek variation. Creeper, the Among Us stuff, crewmate and imposter. Sans, Undertale. um, Another meme pick I considered was fucking um Agent 007, James Bond, 007 James Bond. Because there was like rumors that he was supposed to be in like Smash 64 or Melee, kind of like a precursor to Solid Snake being this like spy character, because 007 was a huge part of the N64, or GoldenEye was. Um, so I thought that'd be like a fun meme pick. And then of course, even though this isn't a video game character, the Nostalgia Critic, because why the fuck not? I love the Nostalgia Critic. I love the Nostalgia Critic. Um, and then for like the Nintendo like, humanoid characters, we got Waluigi, Mifa, Impa. Again, that specific version of Impa. Again, I traced it. Look at all the details. I traced that shit. This entire sheet is cheating. This is all illegal art. We have Alucard, who his eyes ain't looking so good, man. Even tracing, I couldn't get this shit right. Hades from Kid Icarus Uprising, and Tifa from Final Fantasy. Even though it's a JRPG, I still had that, like, I don't know. I guess it was just whatever. Pokemon, of course, Gligar, my absolute favorite, my goat, my boy, my homie. Gengar, Meowscarada, Meowth, Berserker, and Roaring Moon. The whatever Paradox version of Salamence. And then in the like cartoony thing, we have Tanumba, Bandana Waddle Dee, Shadow the Hedgehog, Black Mage and White Mage, specifically the versions from Mario Hoops 3-on-3. I love those designs. And the eShop bag. Fucking love this guy. Little goofy fellow. JRPG, Agnes Oblige from Bravely Default. That's my absolute favorite game of all time. I will constantly forever obsess over it. I cannot wait to play it on stream after I get a better capture card to capture my Switch 2. Cannot wait to fucking play that shit. I'm going to cry tears because you can't cry anything else. I'm going to cry so fucking hard when I play this game. Celica from Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. Ephraim from Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones. Brian from Quest 64. Fiora from Xenoblade Chronicles. And Chrono from Chrono Trigger. Very proud of tracing all this stuff, huh? Anyways, I did actually try to come up with another thing later on. This is from a couple months ago, where I was going to be drawing, and I really like these sketches I made. I really like these sketches I made. This is garbage. This is traced garbage. It's illegal artwork. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's from a few years ago. I love this roster idea, these crack picks and insane fucking concepts. And I think every one of these will probably go into the gigantic mega list. But it's all traced artwork. It's illegal, it's gross, it's disgusting. I'm tired of looking at it. This great, amazing, stylized. It's snappy at you. This is what I want to draw. I want to draw sketches and maybe even render them out fully of characters on this insane mega list here that is trimmed down and refined from what I drew as a child, as a little itty bitty baby. I want to do this. I want to do this like this, and I might even just reuse these sketches. I might just literally copy these over. This is Gligar, Shadow, Agnes, and Shantae from the Shantae games. That's another series I might add into here. I fucking love this. I really like these sketches a lot. I was like, damn, these are good. Especially Shadow, man. I have struggled for the longest fucking time to learn how to draw Shadow for years, and I'm really getting into it now. Gligar, I'm like also same thing. My favorite Pokemon of all time, my boy, my goat, my homie, my G, my greatest fucking Pokemon. I've fucking loved this guy, and I've always struggled to really get a good drawing of him, and I fucking love this sketch. I just spit all over my tablet. because it's right in front of me as I'm zooming in and out. Ah! Ah! So these characters are going to be definitely. Funny, all four of these are not in the mega list right now. They will be added in the mega list. Okay, they will be on here. They will be on here. They will be added. Um, so that's definitely, I want to definitely make these sketches here, and so I copied over the box over here. This file is what I'm going to be. This file is what I'm going to be like probably doing this on to start with. Um, so I am really fucking pumped to like get into this and start working on this. Um, I don't know the organization of like where characters will go in terms of placement. Again, I think I might just kind of go with like my childhood thing and just like I really love page one here because all the other pages are just like, let me just draw a bunch of Pokemon and we'll slap in a couple other characters whenever I fucking feel like it. Page one is like really good because there's such a huge variety. Everything's kind of clear. I could really tell who's who for the most part when it comes to actually like figuring out characters. And so, I'm again. It's what happens. I gotta switch between windows. Page one. All these pages suck. They suck. They're terrible. Page one, goated. I do actually kind of like this, mainly because I'm starting to really try and figure out how to actually like get character details and everything. But yeah, we're really like gonna kind of go with these vibes here. Um, God damn, I'm sorry. I keep looking at these sketches. I'm just like, these fucking sketches are good. They're just they're just they're just so good. I'm gonna cry and shit and piss. Uh Although Anya's is kind of looking a bit like, what the fuck are you looking at? It's definitely not how her character is. She's definitely a lot more like kind of like gracefully watching from the side, and I don't know. Definitely not like staring at you with a fucking death stare. um I love these fucking posts. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with this, man. Art is fun, guys. Get into art. Be artists. Draw, color, do whatever you want to do. Um, you know what? What do you say we start? Just get a little thing going and start at least getting like a character or a sketch down. What do you say we at least get like one just for just just so we can say we got started here today, and then I'm gonna work on getting more of this roster updated off screen and then or off stream, and maybe next week we can have some more sketches to work on. Let's see here. What the hell happened to this here? This whole row is just gone. Okay. Um, let's pick. Um, let's pick a character that's definitely going to be in. That's a definite yes. You know what? How about Vivian? What was the last drawing I did of Vivian? Probably that. I probably have never drawn Vivian since then. Let's draw Vivian. Let's do a sketch of Vivian. I didn't show it on screen again. God damn it. That was my last thing of Vivian. So let's draw Vivian. Sure. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna hide it in here and I'm gonna focus entirely on this. Okay. Anyways. The box is on its own thing. And I make these so it's better than these little squares. These ones give you a little bit of room to wiggle with. Um, Let me get some Vivian art pulled up so I can have a reference. Vivian Mario. Oh. Oh, good thing I'm not showing this on stream. There's a good deal of questionable art appearing. Um, you know what I really want? I want a pose of her. I like her original um I like this pose, sure. Of her yeah, her arms are out and everything. That's like her standard pose. But I also really want to have her pose of her with her finger up as she's like about to cast uh her whatever spell. Like her like when she was about to do like one of her spells. People have like smash mods and stuff with her too. There's a lot of porn. There's a lot of porn. I'm scrolling past trying to find a fucking reference of her. People draw Vivian a lot. there's a I just searched Vivian Mario and this is what's happening. Oh god. Oh jeez. Oh lord. Oh jeez. Oh my god. Ooh, a sprite sheet. Does this have the pose? Uh no it doesn't. Spell. I just want her with her finger fire. I just want to see her hold up her finger and go kablam, shazam, and she casts spells. Come on, something. I mean, maybe I'll have to grab like a video off YouTube and then screenshot like of someone using Vivian's abilities and then just screenshot when she. Oh wait. Oh yeah. It's called Fiery Jinx. So Fiery Jinx, and then that's got something in front of it though. It might be the best I have though. It might be the best I have. Excuse me. What the hell? What the hell? I'm looking at this thing, this reference, and like they took Vivian's sprite of like her casting Fiery Jinx with like her finger in the air. It's someone playing Saints Row, and they keep like in the thumbnails, they keep having like it's Saints Row that they're talking about, but they're I love the internet. I just love the internet, man. It's this. Thank you to whoever made this thumbnail of Vivian doing this, so I have a reference to work off of her holding up her hand, going what? One. Oh well. Anyways, I'm gonna drag this closer so it's yeah. I just normally when I sketch, I use like red and green. I don't know why I just did my normal sketch colors here, but oh well. Um, so let's go ahead and do some drawing. This is two art streams in a row where I haven't drawn anything. So let's draw something. Okay. Oh, but first. Let's drag everything over the side. Just a little bit. That way I have plenty of room outside of the thing. I like how in this I have the characters somewhat sticking out of it. One point of reference actually I like is in Marvel Rivals. Um, uh, when you are looking at like your heroes, and I know this because I actually played Marvel Rivals. Here, I'll even show it here. Like when you're looking at your heroes on like this screen, they slightly pop out of the. Oh, here's the thing. Look at Hulk. He's slightly popping out of the thing. Oh, slightly. He's like taking up the screen now. But yeah, like the characters sit in the thing and then they pop out of the box when you hover over them. I like that. I like when characters do that kind of when they pop out of the box as you like go over them. So like I imagine that's kind of what happens here. It just they pop out and everything. So every character should have a little bit of something going over the lines. So Vivian will probably be like her hat, her hair, her hand is going back. Um, like it'll probably be framed kind of like that's really big. It'll probably puts us be framed kind of like that. Maybe a little bit bigger. That he, and then she pops out and you see like her hand, the rest of her hat, her hair, everything like that. So it'll probably be like that. We'll probably have it kind of framed like that, yeah. So, anyways, let's. Ah! I wasn't showing on screen. Damn me, and having to manage several tabs. Um, next time I'm just capturing my. Next time I'm just gonna capture like just the monitor, my fucking tablet monitor, and then have like just switch between windows on it. We're gonna. Let's just say we'll have it framed like this kind of. In fact, on this, I'll even draw a little rectangle that looks like that-ish. Nope. Just so I can see a point of reference. There we go. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Haha, nice. One. Okay, so Vivian, of course, she has like a really circular head. And her hat. It's an old, good old witch's hat. And she has her hair. The pose covers up her hair a lot, but I do want to like really emphasize on it here. So uh she will have her hand out and it won't be covering her hair as much. She has gloves, so it'll be like that. She has a little round body, a little round shadow body with a tail, but the tail probably won't be popping out. And then one. It's kind of like a bulbous end to her finger there. So I'm gonna use that as like a reference. And of course her thumb. I'm gonna make that a little. Yeah, there we go. Let's see better. I'm gonna erase some of this extra stuff inside because that's just noise. There we go. And a little fire. And of course she has her fingies. Her head's a little wider than just a circle. I know she just has her regular like smile down here. Remove this layer above just so I can. She has like a little smile down here. But I like this smile more. The open mouth, like, huh. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do. She's blushing because she thinks Mario is cute. And the two of them should have got. Nintendo doesn't want Mario to be with anybody. They said, "Oh, Mario and the Peach are good friends. They like to hang out sometimes and watch movies and play video games. They're just good pals from a high school. Like they don't." So far as I'm dating Peach, give him fucking Vivian, man. She was like, she was so freaking like changed by him. He was so willing to give her a chance and everything, like not just in life but in love. Give him Vivian. I'm a fucking Mario Vivian advocate. I am I don't remember what word I was trying to say. I lost my train of thought. I already broke down. I'm broken. I'm broken. Uh, don't be too much of a chubby cheek. Let's say that's the defining. That, yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the shape we want, old girl. Okay. Yeah. These sketches were really simple. I really scribbled a lot here. But I like that. I like that a lot. And then we... Whoop. Vivian! Now with the boxes, if I do Shift and Alt, I can do that. Let's make one more character. Let's sketch one more character, and then I think we'll be done for the night for now. Let's look at the original sheet and see what I did here. Yeesh. Maybe we shouldn't go look at the maybe we shouldn't go look at the OG references. Let's see here. It would be a character I'd be really confident in drawing a thing of. Who would be? Could draw Dr. Meme or Emmy. Did I show Emmy on here? I don't think I ever showed Emmy on on stream, did I? I don't think I ever did. Let me go ahead and just show that real quick. Here's Emmy. Here's You may see her in the emotes for my channel if you're a subscriber. That Cheesy drew a million years ago. Uh, these ones. I commissioned her a long time ago to draw those. Um, I don't know if I'll have her redo them for this new version of Emmy or not. This is back when I didn't know what the hell I was doing with this character, and I wasn't really sure. Um, it was just a character I had made for an assistant to Dr. Meme. Um, but now that I have a better, clearer idea of like what I want to do with the Dr. Meme as a character, so in short, without me yapping too much, there's supposed to be two different kinds of Dr. Meme. There's the one that's just me. You see it right now. It's me. It's just a goofy little version that I use as a representative of myself on the internet. So there's a visual to look at to tie to the name Dr. Meme. It's just there's no character to it. I'm just myself. Um, I stretch things for a bit. Whenever I get like angry at shit, I usually stretch it out for a bit, and I'm not like, I'm putting on a bit of an act, but I'm not an actual character. And then there's a comic that I want to make, like an action, sort of like even like darker themed comic, featuring the original character Dr. Meme, who has a slightly altered design. I have some sketches actually of it. I didn't really fully capitalize on that much, but like he's like a little taller. He's like the hair's got like a bit more of a different shape to it. Like it's a bit more like a spiky like lotus thing almost. Um, he's got more of a serious attitude because of the world that they're in, and Emmy is more of a character for that. Um, essentially, due to she's Dr. Meme's assistant, and after a lab accident that he caused, unfortunately, she was caught in an explosion that took out the right side of her face, including she lost her right eye and her right arm, and part of her torso was also taken. And these are all synthetic bits and prosthetics, um, which she found out has defense capabilities like having guns and missiles and lasers in her arm. And so she can partake in like combat and such. I drew some expression sheets. These are just the 5 favorite expressions I made of her, that I sketched out and everything. Still working on stuff. I'm still not sold those shoes and everything. I posted this like on my Discord and stuff like that too, and I think like Cheesy's Discord as well. Posted in a couple places. But this would probably be the version of Emmy I would probably draw for this thing. Oh, that's oops. That's not oops. That's not oops. That's not oops. That's the one I want. Sorry. I usually have a ton of projects open at once, so I can work on things. Anyways, let's pick another character to draw. I need something to sketch real quick before we get off for the day. I want it to be a character that's not already like in like Smash or anything like that, and probably not from any of the series I've sketched so far. I don't want to do another Pokemon, Sonic character, Brave the Default, Shantae, Mario. Let's pick. Hmm. Hmm. Go look at the Ultra Smash Guys list and pick from there. Um. Huh. Go look at this specific list to see if I get inspired from one of my. Brian! I could do Brian from. I could do Brian from Quest 64. Well, well, well. Let's see. Um. Let's copy that image. And then, let's get another image for the pose I want to use. Oh, that's such a cool pose, too. That somebody drew on Newgrounds. Let me open this up. This is so cool. I need to make a Newgrounds. Well, I have an old Newgrounds account from when I was like 14, but of course I'm not going to use it anymore. He also drew Ganondorf. That's sick. Ah, I'm getting distracted. Okay, anyways, I was like, that's a cool pose. But I don't want to steal that pose from somebody else. I love it when people put Brian as like this Smash pick. I'm like, I knew people loved this game. They're like, it's from this stupid, dumb game called Quest 64. It's the shittiest game ever. It's just funny to put this alfalfa looking character in it. Stupid. And it's like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, just okay. Ooh. Is that from the box of the actual box of L-Tail, whatever? What else was it called? What was the fucking box? Let's look at the Holy Magic Century. Yeah. Okay. What was he called in that game? Jean-Jacques? Holy Magic Century. That's such a cool name for it too. I'm not. That's a better view of the entire pose. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. That's the Game Boy Color version. I was surprised to learn they had that. I'm gonna flip that because I still like it facing that way from like the original N64 art. You know what? I might. Yeah, I might just use that one rather than that. And of course, they have to be bigger. And that there, and then we'll do that. All right. Oh, I need to move. You know, I'm gonna put Vivian down a few things there. That way she's not in the way. As we draw Brian. From Quest 64 / Holy Magic Century. Oh, oops. God damn it. Fuck. Alright. Okay. Chat. I gotta remember. Next time, I'm going to just capture my screen. That all this is... well, not my screen. It's not all this is on the screen. I actually have the window open on a different monitor, and then this monitor is my tablet that I'm drawing on. I'm going to remember next time I'm doing this, probably next week, that we do part 2 of this stuff, to just capture my screen, so that way I can flip between stuff way easier without constantly forgetting that I have one window pulled up and you guys can't see what I'm doing. I gotta remember that. We gotta get SpongeBob back. I gotta remember that. Anyways, Brian. We're drawing Brian from Quest 64 / Holy Magic Century / the L-Tail book. Or is it just those two names it had? L-Tail Monsters. That's what it was called. L-Tail Monsters. I have a lot to say about Quest 64. Good. Very good things, a lot of really good things, and very, very, very few bad things. And I want to play it on stream. I'm just hoping to God that at some point soon it comes out for the Nintendo 64 Classics on the Switch and Switch 2, because I want to play it on official hardware. I don't want to emulate it. Anyways, so we have Vivian. We drew Vivian. We sketched Vivian. We're gonna sketch Brian, and I like this pose a lot. This pose. We're gonna try and frame it again. Actually, let's see if we can get it framed here. Oh, that's kind of perfect. But do I want him bigger than that? Like these guys are. Maybe I do. Maybe I do just want that frame just like that. So we'll. These corners might actually be rounded in that. Let's do. What is it? 360. Is that too much? Is that too much roundness? No, that's that's perfect roundness. Okay. Anyways, that's not the I think my lines are thicker than. I think I had like 50 or something as like the setting for these boxes. Anyways, that's just to give me an idea. We're gonna actually draw it. We're not gonna trace it. I am not this guy anymore. I am not this monster from several years ago that traces artwork. I draw. And I draw pretty damn good now. Fuck you. Fuck you, Baltimore! That needs to be a thing. Editor, put up "fuck you, ball." Editor, put up the Big Bill Hills cars. um. Oh, one more thing. I'm just gonna drag this up so I can see better, and then we'll have the Brian render for reference down here, and then that is the layer. That is the guy. Let's draw. All right, gamers, get open your celery sticks and your orange juice, and let's game. I'm gonna go for a trapezoid here, actually, with like a big rounded top, like a fan, and he's got like that. Brian does have kind of a goofy hairstyle when you think about it, but like as soon as you start going through the game and everything, even like with his big alfalfa hair, it's like it doesn't bother you in the slightest. It's like one, it helps you find him when he goes into tall grass. Like it's actually like a good like locator. But also he just in general like it doesn't bother you. The characters are all really well designed. It's a very very well designed game in terms of like art direction. They did great on it. Some extra crap here out of the way. Oof, my pen slipped. I love Brian's like outfit too. He's got like all this like big puffy like clothing and everything on. Like he's like geared up, got so many layers on and everything. Like he is set for travel. I've drawn Brian a couple times, but I need to draw him a lot more. Ooh, that's too high up. Let's take that down. Yeah. I'm like, what? Nope, that's a Windows key. Control. Can I like? Yeah. Ooh, I can like really skew this around. Hold on. I'm learning how to use the program I draw in, guys. And his head's a little wider too. Just a little bit. Remember, these are just sketches, so like the finalized artwork would be a lot more refined. That's not nice. Staff is a little longer than that. It's okay if it doesn't match the original pose like 1-to-1, because this is just based on that posed. I'm not gonna have like his feet show and everything like that in the entire pose. Like it's not gonna be like it's not gonna go all the way down here in the final render. But I'm doing this just so I can kind of get a placement of like this foot's here. This is where his leg is. And I can really figure that out. Da 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 da. I might make it slightly bigger. Maybe. There we go. We have two more characters added now that I've drawn, and I might just reuse these sketches for earlier. So, oh my god, I am excited to do more work on this, and I'm going to do a little bit more off stream, and I'm going to really get more on the list. Today again, we just spent a long time just like remaking the list, and about just taking off characters, just going like nope, and just scratching characters off, and it's like, yeah, we didn't do much drawing today. So next time, I'm going to make sure that I'm set up for us to do a lot more drawing. But I think I am going to call it there. My back's hurting now, so I'm going to need to disappear for a bit, go make some dinner. Um, uh, Fucking 3 years of affiliate though. 3 years of like trying to actually like make this like work of like of like trying to actually be a streamer, be able to monetize my stuff. 3 years of realizing, oh shit, I can't fully turn off ads without leaving the affiliate program. Fuck. But still, now I'm multi-platform. Now I'm really like I got this big list of games to play that I'm officially organized on. I got a whole concept going on with like we're in my living room. I got figurines and shit. Like I got like ideas of that like working. They're actually like working of like what to do for my identity as a streamer, and I'm really loving that. And I have a lot more in store for the future. A lot more plans of what I'm going to be making and how I'm going to be doing my content. Um, and I'm really, 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 really excited to see how things change as time goes on. Anyways, next stream is tomorrow. We're playing some more Pokemon Sapphire, doing some really interesting hunting for some very rare Pokemon to add to our team, and doing some planning for the future of our team with that. I'm gonna leave it vague like that. Anyways, thank you so much everybody for swinging by today. I don't think we'll do a raid. Well, who's on? Who's on? Let's see. Who's on? Nah, yeah, we just won't do a raid today. I gotta go. So, anyways, thank you all for stopping by, and again, new next raid's tomorrow. What do I do here? Oh, that's right. I have a Discord where I post schedules and announcements of when I'm streaming and everything, as well as all the thumbnails that you see on the YouTube side. I have a YouTube and a Kick and a Patreon. If you want to see yourself on the supporter shelf on the right side of the screen, you can support me on Patreon and get a figurine drawn of you. And with that, yeah, like I said, tomorrow's Pokemon and everything. I think I covered it on a basis. I'm a little frazzled at the moment. Yeah, anyways, thank you very much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!